Hello, my name is Mary McCarthy, and I'd like to share with you this month's tip. Today we're going to talk about how our feet line up for Tadasana, or mountain pose. When you take a stand at the top of your mat, we want to have our feet about hip distance apart. Another way to look at it is to put your foot and your feet 1 foot distance apart. Once your feet have arrived in a place on your mat, now you can start to build your foundation from the ground up. One way to start doing that is to shift your weight forward and back and to see where do you naturally place the weight in your feet. Ideally, we want to place the weight evenly from our heels to the mounds of our feet. And we can think of it in 3 spots on each foot, starting with the center of our heels, the mound of our big toe, and the mound of our pinky toe. When we can ground down into our mat in those 3 places, then we start to build and lift energy up, activating the arches of our feet and engaging the muscles of around our legs. So you can have a little bend of your knee and continue to feel engagement of your legs carrying all the way up into your pelvis. When we stand in Tadasana and we have our feet hip distance apart, we want to be mindful how we orientate our pelvis. And when you can place your hands at the top of your hips, you can feel if one hip is slightly higher than the other. Maybe your body is designed that way, you cannot make much adjustment. But if you are able to, we try to level our pelvis so that the space and the evenness between right and left hand is the same. The next piece to consider is, are our hips forward or are they back? And as you might imagine, we're looking for it to be in the middle, balanced. So our pelvis is a bowl shape. And when we place our hands on our pelvis, we want the front of our hip bones and the back of our hip bones to be level like a bowl. That allows us now to have a little bit of drawing down with the tailbone and a little bit of engaging up from the pubic bone to the navel. With your knees not locked, but just slightly bent, we have now built our foundation from our feet all the way up to our hips. Keeping that energy carrying up our body, we now start to place the shoulders over our hips, drawing the shoulder blades very gently on our back and having our sternum or our chest bone lift. The collarbones are nice and broad. And then we think about our head placement. So for a lot of us, we spend our time sitting and reading, looking at our phones, and that means that our heads can be very forward. When we come into Tadasana, we want to keep the chin level, look to the horizon, and then draw the head back, placing the ears over the shoulders as much as we can, over the hips, and over the ankles. Now, when we have arrived in this steady posture, we can gently allow our arms to externally rotate and have a natural carrying angle from the slight bend of the elbow out to the hands. For many of us, our palms will turn slightly open. And now we're standing in our Tadasana, mountain pose. This foundation for us to connect to our body, our breath, and our mind.